Hi, everyone. Welcome to our last episode of the first season of Out the Group Chat.
Yay!
How do you guys feel? It's been a journey from Elise's apartment
Wow.
to here.
This is really crazy.
Look at where we are. I mean, I'm proud of us, honestly, for getting through an entire season.
we
you
really
know,
just
like-
did this straight off just the faith. We didn't even know what we were doing.
Start a
We have to
podcast.
start. We
Yeah.
have been planning. It was like, okay, we have to do this. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
You just can't perpetually be in a waiting state.
Exactly.
I know.
Willie, you want to do the honors?
I will.
Yeah, we brought some bubbly to celebrate.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yay.
Okay, well,
Fantastic.
where are we starting?
Yummy.
We're starting with friendship.
Right.
It's only right.
Yeah,
we started our little
exactly.
passion project. We got to end the first season talking about friendship.
Bring it back to our roots.
Right.
But I feel like whenever people talk about their friends, there's always these little hot topics, so to speak. And I've been itching to do this episode because I want to discuss group trips and why I can never go on them with you guys ever again. You guys suck. You suck.
Whoa.
No, you suck. New Orleans, you were doing laundry. And also, Elise, you didn't pack any tops. Okay?
First of all,
No. Washington?
They need
when
the
I was like,
context.
maybe
Us
no.
being ambushed is crazy
I've
right
been
now.
waiting on camera.
Washington. Go ahead and finish.
I'm like, oh, maybe we should, have a little itinerary. I love an itinerary. Nobody moves. Okay. We go there. Everything required us to pre-book. We couldn't ski. We couldn't even go tubing.
We couldn't go
Yeah.
too
We
big.
couldn't go tubing. We stared at the snow and came home 2 days later.
Yeah.
Okay? Chicago? No, we're not going to get into Chicago. I like the group chat.
What I want to say, though, with New Orleans specifically is like,
Y'all were doing laundry. That's crazy.
you.
Okay, so first of all, here's what I'll say about myself as a friend and in relation to group trips. I am the friend that's like, I'm down and I'm ready. I will throw the money at whatever, but I am not a planner. And I feel like everyone who knows me knows that I live my life in this very like chaotic and stressful way.
Yes.
And it's not on purpose. And that's that's the worst thing about it is that it's not on purpose. So like, we went to New Orleans and I only brought one top because I was like, I'm going to go to the mall and just buy some more tops. But
Why
we didn't.
would you think
Why would
that?
you think that?
Who passed for a trip thinking that? And there was one singular shirt.
And it really was like, I have no like, recourse. I have nothing to say. I brought one shirt. I didn't buy the shirt. So we had to go to like a random like side store. I brought Black Lives Matter shirt. What can you do, guys?
But you're right for flagging that because that was crazy.
Well, first of all, my clothing has nothing to do with everyone else.
It's true.
And you know what? I felt like it was a very Elise thing. It was very on brand because when you said it, I wasn't necessarily surprised.
And I will say personally, I am also not a planner, but I feel like I am always put into situations where I need to be the planner because nobody else is doing it. And so in this group specifically, I have decided to sit back and not do as much because I'm like, I don't want to be forced to. Girl, we unfortunately do not have enough time to get into it, but I'm telling you, I made a concerted effort not to do too much anymore because I was like, I will get consumed in all of it, and so I don't want to.
Okay, here's the thing. I usually am a planner, and I do like to plan, but I have to kind of get myself together, or someone has to make me do it because it's like the ADHD situation. Like if I sit down and I'm like, okay, I'm planning it, I will do it, but Alliyah is correct. In the past trips, I have not been involved in the planning.
Y'all have been off your game.
We really have. Okay, so here's the thing. What's the next trip?
San Francisco?
No, not that one, because you're
Brazil. No, we're not going to Brazil yet. What
Not
was
yet.
it?
Like, oh, the ski trip.
But that's planned already.
But everything's already planned for that.
Yeah,
There's
we
no
don't
way
have
that
to
can
do
go.
anything.
Okay, well, let's figure out a trip for us to do. I kind of want us to go to Mexico.
We gotta test ourselves. We gotta test
I'm
ourselves.
scared. And y'all talking about the
Alliyah's
country?
been
I mean, you're
traumatized apparently by all of our trips.
Geyer holds the same sentiments as you because he is
Thank you,
honestly like,
Geyer.
I don't know if I can keep going places with these people. So like, that tells you anything about my
I feel
situation. You're not wrong for
not
saying
wrong.
those things, but
Okay, I'm making a commitment now. The next trip, not San Francisco, not the ski trip, but something of the sort, I'll be involved in the planning.
Okay, that we can agree on.
And now
Yeah.
it's on camera, it's recorded.
But like an itinerary, like I feel like when I travel, I'd like an itinerary, like actually mapping out every single thing that I'm gonna do every day. That's not really how I do. I'll usually have like a sort of like overarching thing that I want to do, and then allow
what was
the
the
trip
overarching
to sort
thing
of
on
like
the day
free
you guys were
flow.
doing laundry?
I don't do. You keep mentioning laundry in New Orleans.
Wait.
When did we do laundry in New
Are
Orleans?
you kidding me? Call Gaia right now.
Okay,
You guys
also-
were doing laundry.
Lauren was doing laundry.
You all were doing. I walked in after
Allegedly.
me,
Allegedly.
Spencer,
I was
and Bailey were elsewhere. We
definitely
went to-
doing. Well, I was throwing my laundry into like my shirt, my one shirt. I was throwing it into whoever was doing laundry. I had to. I only had one shirt.
I also like to clarify, I was not on this trip, so
Oh, yeah.
I was not involved.
I will say that at the end of the day, regardless of how the trips were planned, we still came back being friends after those trips.
You know what that
Although
is.
Chicago was a little
That
rough,
was
we
a little
will
touch and go.
say
Yeah, but
we should go to Miami. 'Cause
Now,
that's
The
Girl.
true test.
I feel like by the time we go to Miami, we will all be. We have to wait until we like. Okay, we have it down. You know what I mean? The trip
We need a
planning.
few more trips.
We
under our
would
belt.
need
can't
an
jump to
itinerary.
Miami.
Yeah,
Also,
we
it's like
would.
I don't even like Miami.
I've never been, but I would
Miami,
just like to.
but I haven't been in a really long
I
time.
wanna go,
so
like,
I feel like
I want to go when like something's happening, like Art
Art
Basel.
Basel.
yeah, the
you
last
know,
time
like
I
something.
went, it was
Yeah.
Afro
nation.
Afro Nation, whatever the big festival is.
Yeah.
You said Afro Tech. No.
I mean, I can give
Really.
credit where credit is due, though. One issue we never have is the whole splitting checks thing. I feel
Yeah.
like that's another one where people
Yeah.
are always like,
Oh God.
People get weird about that.
They do.
Yeah.
In a scary way. Like I'll see
Yeah.
people's conversations on TikTok and I'll be like, y'all are like, your friend got you some chicken nuggets and it was $4 and you're like, they need to pay me that $4 back.
Yeah.
That to me is weird.
I think it's interesting because there's so many different versions of like what can go on. Like there's the people that are like, okay, everybody put their card down and like split even, or just like split evenly in general. Personally, for me, because I don't like to run into any like weird situations, I will just handle it and calculate everything myself. So it's like, okay, this is like the exact amount, so
He's
you get what
lying.
you
he
paid
does it 'cause
for.
He wants the credit card points. Like, what
I
are we
do get
talking
the
about?
points. I
was
do
gonna
get
say,
the
usually
points.
I was like, whenever we've gone out, either you or Elise will put down your credit card and then just Venmo request,
Yeah.
whatever.
and I'm
it's
happy
like-
with that because I
I'm
don't like
so
to do the
happy with-
calculations.
I'm
I
so
will give
happy
you
with
whatever
it,
you say I
yeah.
owe you, but
It's
I don't
also-
want to be like, okay, this person said this person.
Exactly.
Like, it's
and it's
too
like,
much.
I'm not, and I also don't feel the need to go back and like double check.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's
I'm
true.
gonna just, whatever you tell
Yeah.
me, I'm gonna send them.
Honestly,
Imagine the whole
sometimes
time.
I be forgetting. When we were in law school, I remember there was one time when we went out to eat where there was like maybe like 3 months where I like didn't, like I was just like not paying attention. But like I like it. I like doing it because it feels fair and nobody feels like slighted. It's like, oh, well, like I only ordered this thing. Why am I paying
Yeah.
for,
Yeah.
the steak? And even though we
But
all,
even, I was gonna say, even
you know.
when it does like run into like, oh, I only got this drink, whatever. I feel like that's never been an issue either. Like,
No.
Yeah, rarely is
You-
someone feeling
exactly.
like,
And it's like
yeah.
also we usually kind of like share appetizers.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
This
Yeah.
and that.
we
So-
just
It's
eat,
like everybody's got a
period.
meal, everybody's got a drink. It's okay.
Yeah, it's never been an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily.
There's still time for it
There's
to become an
still
issue.
time.
I'll make it an issue next time.
Please.
I mean, it's not like we haven't had problems while eating dinner because that
Oh my God.
in Chicago,
Chicago,
that
do you
horrible
remember
restaurant.
That was such a dark-sided restaurant.
Yeah.
like
You guys, we went to, my hometown of Chicago.
I did love Chicago though.
And we just experienced
fun.
so many silly things. We were having fun, but so many silly things back to back to back. We had an Uber driver that we thought was gonna literally fucking kill us. Like that was so weird. Anyway, we survived though. We made it out, and that's all that matters.
Y'all see what
This is just a little crumb of Chicago. We will tell the full story.
Yes.
Next season, I feel like we'll have a lot of interesting full stories to tell. We got some law school stories to tell as well.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah. Speaking of friendship, because you really need to have discernment, because you could end up being in community with people that
some very interesting, crazy, and scary,
very
people.
colorful felons.
Felons.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't plot twist.
Right.
Spoiler.
But
law school,
truthfully.
truly some of the most insane people I've ever met in my life.
But that's how we all found each other.
Yeah, which
That
is
is
so
true.
funny.
And we are all insane in a different way.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
do think
confident
we each
saying
have
that.
our own.
We all have our own little
Yeah.
there's something up there, but like it all works really well together.
And I think it's also because we all like respect each other.
Yeah.
And we like to, and we celebrate.
I don't respect.
Okay.
I was shaking my head when he said that. I was like, oh,
We celebrate each other's, little quirks and oddities. And it's also, I feel like we know when to step out of each other's way. It's like, okay, you know what? I know Alliyah, she got this, whatever. I'm going to trust her to do this. Jelani, Elise, me, And I just feel like that is trust and respect is like a very important foundation for any relationship, let alone like a close friendship.
Love,
Absolutely.
bonding, trust,
Real friendship.
well, okay, that segues really well into something that I wanted to talk about specifically was when it comes to romantic relationships and friendships.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like true friendship is like the most disrespected relationship that people can have.
Yeah.
And that oftentimes in the pursuit of romance or when someone finds that romantic relationship that they're looking for, they put their friends to like the wayside, or their friends suddenly become like a second tier. Mm-hmm. And I obviously understand the importance of being with your person, your partner, and like having that unique relationship together, but it should never come at the cost of like the people who were there for you before this person was even in your life,
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, from my perspective, it's really interesting because obviously I was married before I met all of you guys, but I still
Jelani
think
didn't invite us to his wedding.
I didn't. Yeah,
And
it was
he
very
refuses
exclusive.
to plan a vow renewal.
Refuses.
I don't know about refuses, but I did say that one of my goals is to plan a very expensive vow renewal because I paid so much money for my other friend's wedding and I want everybody to spend a lot of money on me for the
And that's the only reason.
Yeah, that's literally, I was like, I want people to pay to like, yeah. But anyways, like, so I, was married before I met you guys, but like even when I was initially dating Geyer, like I would say that like I always had the mindset of like I don't want to say my friends come first, but my friends are just as important as you because I've known these people longer. And before we got married, it's like I'm going to know them after you, like in theory. So it's like I never understood that kind of like I guess like perspective of like somebody who gets in a relationship and then suddenly becomes enthralled with that person and only that person because I'm like your community was setting you up and building you up before that person got there and then you kind of just
Absolutely.
I agree. And I also, for me, I think of my close friends as family as well.
Yeah.
And it's like obviously my romantic partner, like he would be family as well. So it's like just as important. It's also obviously both relationships serve different purposes sometimes.
Exactly.
But it's not necessarily one is more important than the other.
Yeah.
In my eyes.
I have a question. When it comes to when people say like they married their best friend or like their partner is their best friend, do you guys have any opinion on that like thought process?
I don't find it an issue because I think you can have multiple best friends. I consider I have multiple best friends, and I would want my partner to be my best friend.
Yeah. Yeah. I
agree
think
with
that makes sense. Like,
I think the way that I've always seen it and the way that it or at least the way I see it online that confuses me, because I also agree that like you have multiple very close friends and things like that. But I typically see when people say like I married my best friend or like my partner is my best friend, it is like at the expense of like suddenly like before like how I said would
control it.
like I had stated before, when you get into like the relationship and then your friendships kind of like denigrate or whatever, like the thought process of like your partner becoming your best friend is almost as if like the friendships that existed before
don't matter as much.
Not that they don't matter, but like me trying to explain what I'm trying to say and then the sips that I took of that is not working.
Well, let me try to find it for you. I think that it is. I think that it is like a detriment to yourself to view. And I don't want to talk too much about relationships because we're talking about friendships.
Right.
View your partner as sort of like the end all be all. Like you need people outside of your relationship to be in community with.
Exactly.
And like you said, that person that you're with can be, you know, the special person, you know, that obviously you're living with, you're building a life with, but like you should never neglect your community.
Right. That shouldn't be the only person.
Exactly. It was the whole idea of the partner shouldn't play every single role that the friendship that you had before still like exists. That's what I was trying to say. And thank you.
And it's what you said earlier kind of struck me because I wanted to talk about how friendships are the most disrespected type of relationship or seen as sort of like this lower tier. But I want to talk about how maybe your perceptions around friendship change over time and how that affects how you make new friends. Because I feel like oftentimes, at least from my personal experience, like people don't change, but boundaries do. And so I have had situations where I have fallen out with people, not because they're a different person, but because I've sort of set a certain boundary and then they've crossed that thing.
Like,
whereas before, maybe when we first knew each other, we're diverging. But whereas previously in our relationship, that boundary wasn't there and maybe it was crossed and but everything was fine. But now it's more like set in stone.
Yeah. I would say that boundaries change for the most part, but people do switch up on you. And sometimes, you know, you just gotta let people go, especially in adulthood. Like, I feel like after graduating law school and, you know, starting, you know, working and everything, I almost had to do like a reassessment of, okay, the relationships in my life, who the people are that were like closest to me and like where I'm going to be putting my energy. And I feel like that's important for you to do every once in a while because it also makes you kind of reflect and like look back at yourself as well. But then again, also, I know a lot of people find it difficult to make new friends as an adult. So it's like, you know, if you have these friends and you guys are starting to diverge, I get the hesitancy of like not wanting to let them go because it's like, okay, then you're gonna feel like you have no one.
It ain't nothing to cut that bitch off.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel as well. But yeah, it is hard and it is difficult making friends an adult. I feel like I've been really lucky to where I have not had issues. Like obviously, you know, we all met in, I was about to say high school, college, or law school.
Y'all don't need no more of that.
But it's funny, I was telling Elise this, that I feel like over the 3 years of law school, I developed individual relationships with all of you separately. And for the longest, I was like, I wanted to be a part of like this group, not because I was like, you know, desperate for friends, let's be clear. But I was like, I want to be friends with these people. But the issue was, so your first year of law school, you're separated into like mods and everyone takes classes pretty much all together. Like your mod takes it together. I was not in a mod with any of them. And then the black people in my mod were not people that I want to be friends with. So it was difficult for me to kind of get into the group. I kept being like, I just need to be in a group setting so you guys could see me like, you know, in a group setting.
Move around a bit.
But I feel like I threw so many parties, like, and I can't remember.
I get what he's saying. It's different in a party context versus like just regular hanging out, even in between classes or just like, because I also feel like I wasn't in the same mod as you guys, so I didn't talk to you guys as often. But it was like when I do speak to them, like it's cool and it's fun and it's cute. But I understand what you're saying, like the group setting and like actually having a group dynamic amongst all of us, like didn't come until much later.
I will say though, like to your point about like having law school making you reassess, just like really quickly, I feel like graduation was my recalibration period because I had a very big group of friends, which you guys met since high school, and when I told them, I was like, oh, way before we even graduated, I was like, I want you guys all to come down for my graduation. And for several of them, it was like pulling teeth. And I was like, and in that moment, I realized it's like, whoa, like I shouldn't have to beg for you to like show up for me.
Yeah,
so like
crazy.
this, like I'm cool off whatever this is. Like,
And I think that's
it's
fair,
not,
like, To your larger question, I guess, about, friendships changing in adulthood as well. I think it is hard to find and maintain friendships. And I think I value more the way people show up, like actually show up for you. Because again, we're all busy. We all have our own thing going on. We're working, we're doing this, we're doing that. But like actually showing up when it matters, I think is the hallmark of a good friendship. And so I think like law school and graduating and even going through the bar, which I was very stressed during.
Yeah.
But I
I
appreciated
think we were
the
all
way.
stressed.
Right.
Yeah, but I told you I was going through
I actually wasn't
it.
stressed at all.
Yeah, Elise was
had
not
the
stressed.
pleasure of not having to take the bar. But it's just like I really appreciated the way certain people showed up for me.
Yeah.
Even people like Bailey ordered my favorite Thai food one day. She's like, "What do you need me to do? Do you want to go through flashcards?" She was like, "Get out the house one day."
Yeah.
Spencer was always sending me nice messages. My friend Michelle, and
Yeah.
it's just like. I love that they were able to recognize, because I necessarily wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed, but I feel like they could recognize like she's going through it,
Yeah.
and then
Because
they
they're
tried
actively
to
like thinking of you
Yeah,
as,
and they
as like
showed up when
someone
it
in your
counted.
life, and they're like,
Yeah.
I want to make sure this person is good. Like I actively, even like my friend group that came from college that I only get to see once or twice a year, like I spend most of my time with you guys, but even still, I'm making sure to like call my friends from back home, text my friends from back home. And like relationships change and like dynamics change. And like, it's even interesting because I feel like as I got older, I realized that, I'm even closer to like certain people, or I gel well or better in certain groups than I do in others. But even still, to like the larger point, it's like you're going to make time and like actively try to do things for the people that are important to you in your life. And that's how you maintain friendships as an adult. It doesn't have to be like every day I'm talking to you, but I'm thinking of you when it matters, and I'm doing what I can in whatever capacity I can to make sure I'm there for you when it does.
I am curious how you guys sort of like think about the different dynamics that happen between women who are friends, straight male friendships, queer friendships, like what differences do you see in the dynamic? Because I feel like at least speaking for the girls, we kind of there's this perception that women are so catty towards each other or backstab each other, whatever. It's like this really weird perception. And when I think about my friendships, my closest friends, I'm like, there's so much love and like warmth and community amongst all of us. And it's a space where we can have fun with each other, but be vulnerable, or we can hold each other accountable when we need to, or be like, you should have cussed her out when it's just like so but it's just like it encompasses so much that I really value, like that sort of sisterhood amongst my friends. But I know like straight men, they don't have that at all. They're increasingly more angry and lonely. And
so speaking on like gay men being friends, so there's this, what would you say, I guess, perception within the gay community, among gay men, I should say, where it's like people are like, it's so hard to be like find a friend that's gay who like doesn't want to sleep with you or doesn't have ulterior motives, this and that.
Yes.
And I've always found it very hard to relate to that, because I have never had the thought of like, oh, I'm gonna sleep with my friends or anything. Okay.
he said I was with you.
Okay.
Man, you lost.
Or when I say sleep with, I mean like people I've established a friendship with. Not like I'm getting to know this person, but it's like, okay, this is like,
it's very clear.
My bestie, whatever. Like this is my sister. But I feel like some people find that challenging, and I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah. I want to answer your question, but I want to I want to piggyback off what Willie said. I will say that, I have hooked up with basically 99% of the people that I consider friends who I went to high school with. But that was when we're like, like queer, babies, and we're learning about ourselves. And but in adulthood, I would say that happened less, but it still happened. But I don't think I ever made a friendship with the thought of I'm eventually going to sleep with this person, which is what I feel like people say happens like a lot with what you're talking about. And then going back to what you said with sometimes women friendships like being characterized as catty, I feel like a lot of people are friends with people who they actually don't like. And are very jealous. There's a lot of animosity. There's a lot of jealousy. And so when you're in close proximity to those people, that negative energy spills out. And I think that's where a lot of that comes from. I also think that a lot of people do not know how to be honest. And that's one of the things that I stress in like all of my friendships. It's like, just don't fucking lie to me. Like we're adults. Like I would never judge you for anything that you have done. Like just don't lie. And I feel like a lot of people in tandem with sort of not being able to be honest, that is in the same vein of people not being able to take accountability, because I don't feel like I can come to you with my honest feelings. I can't tell you the truth. So it always stays at this like surface level where you're not allowed to get deeper because that person might get mad or their feelings might get hurt or whatever. And there's no trust.
That's the thing. It's like, are you really actually friends? And
I don't think so.
Well, that's the thing. I think the term friendship, people definitely have a lot of prescriptions, different ways of prescribing the word friend to like the people in their lives. And I think people are quick to call someone their friend when really that's just an acquaintance. And that's why the relationship isn't that deep.
Exactly. My mama always said,
not everybody's your friend. Yeah, not everyone's your friend.
So, and that's true. Not everyone's your friend. Not everyone's going to like you.
And it's hard because I'm an overtly friendly person. So it's like I get caught in like situations really quickly.
We know. Again, we have some story. We need to talk about law school more next season because
because the other day when you were saying, so-and-so said this, and then I had a conversation with him about it, and I was like, you were talking to this man entirely too much. I don't understand this.
But you're not gonna like everybody. Everybody's not gonna like you. Like you need to be okay with being uncomfortable when it does come to friendships. It's not always gonna be, smooth sailing.
I do not have very many straight male friends.
I have less than 5.
Yeah, I have
less than 5.
I mean,
I don't have any.
I have been surrounded myself with. I've surrounded myself with queer people.
I was gonna say all my closest friendships with men that aren't like my brother are literally queer men, gay men.
Why are you pointing at me?
Are you gay?
No.
Right. Let it be known, Willie is a pathological liar.
Right.
But yeah, I agree. I don't have any like close straight guy friends. The only straight men that are in my life are via my girlfriends, their partners, or like my sister's boyfriend.
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes.
And I've tried, but it's like they have such a different idea of friendship that I can't get behind. And it's like, girl, like I don't know what to do.
What I've noticed is that like the few straight men that are like my genuine friends that I've had are definitely people or are definitely straight men who don't tend to prescribe to society's like standards for how straight men should behave. So like they're much more like open-minded and things like that. So I think that's probably why they lend to being better friends. They're like all very like secure in their sexuality, that they don't have like the weird issues that straight men have, being able to like talk to their own male friends. So yeah, that's what I would think. I don't know, straight men, y'all need to figure it out.
I think to round it out, we should talk about what we all look for in a friend.
Someone who is intelligent and curious about the world, humorous, kind, and they are not insecure.
That's good. I think outside of like the things that Willie said, because I think all of those are qualities that I would look for, I think it's important to me that like I like having friends who have varied interests, because I like being able to learn from my friends, and I feel like each one of you have brought something into my life in terms of me being able to learn from you or learning about something that you enjoy. So yeah, I think having friends that just have varied backgrounds, varied interests, is something that I enjoy.
I like that.
DEI.
I would say, right, DEI. I would say, like I said earlier, like somebody who's honest, like somebody who is just able to tell the truth and is very genuine in their, behavior, the way they present, and people who are curious. I feel like all of my friends are very curious. They want to know more. They want to do more. And as somebody who's very adventurous and likes to kind of just do everything under the sun, I need, people who are willing to go there with me.
Yeah. I'd agree with all of that. I feel like I appreciate the curiosity aspect. I'm friends with varied hobbies, that sort of thing. Also just smart, kind, thoughtful. But also I really appreciate that with all of my friends, they are so funny in their own respective ways. Like every single one of them is hilarious.
Yeah.
And that's another quality. It's just like if we can laugh together,
right?
Humor matters a lot.
It does.
It's so
What's that
humorous.
phrase? Like laughing is the best medicine or whatever. Like it's true.
Yeah.
Have you ever deep belly laughed with your friends?
Yes.
Especially, but Black people.
It's a different type of humor.
It is such a privilege. I'm so thankful to be Black.
Oh God! We are the funniest people.
We are.
We are. It's great.
Even any internet trend you've seen that's actually funny, Black people.
Black people.
Literally. Oh my gosh. Well, I guess that rounds out the last
done?
episode of Out the Group Chat Pod for this season.
For this season.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
We'll be back in a few months.
Right. We need to plan
But-
out season 2.
Yeah,
Season 2 is gonna be a lot more elevated.
We're gonna
back.
have
Bigger, better.
more episodes.
We're gonna have more thorough conversations.
Yeah,
because we're gonna.
sound effects.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because sound effects.
Also, some very intense stories. I feel like we
Yeah.
haven't.
It's gonna get fun.
We've been
Very
edging you
fun.
guys, but now I
We
think we
have a
need to
lot of
get into
stories to
the.
tell.
We need
I
to get
love
into
a
the
good-
nitty gritty.
Low-key,
Good
each
time.
episode should be like a news
A
story.
different
I don't
thing,
even
yeah.
know. Like
Yeah.
low-key,
I feel like the
we
story
have
we have a lot of
tell.
material.
We have a lot of material.
So yeah, maybe season 2 will be the story time season.
Oh my god.
Maybe a
Into the
couple
lore.
special guests.
Yes, a few special guests.
Yes.
Definitely.
But we made it. We did it, Joe.
We did it,
Joe.
Yeah. Well, that's it for our last episode of this season. You can find us at OTGC Pod on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yeah, and you can find me willie.duhart on Instagram and just willie.duhart on TikTok.
You can find me at Elise Hosafo on Instagram, Elise the Egg on YouTube, and Elle the Egg on
One day she's going to
TikTok?
change
TikTok.
them all to the same name.
Right.
She's been saying that in every.
Yes.
You can find me at itsjustjelani on Instagram and Just Jelani on TikTok.
And you can find me on YouTube at Leah's Legal Life, on Instagram, TikTok at Fit with Alliyah or _Alliyah T. And thank you to everyone who listened or watched
Yes.
our first season of OT.
Thank you
All
so much for
friends,
being here
family,
with
new
us.
people we've never met.
Yes.
Really appreciative.
Wait. Some of our stats, we were able to cross 1,000
yes.
followers on TikTok. So thank you so much for that. We're almost at 300 on Instagram?
Instagram, yeah.
Actually, I think we're almost at 500. No,
No, I don't think so.
we're gonna get close to 500.
Yeah,
Right.
we're
Get
almost
there.
at 100 subscribers.
100 subscribers on YouTube.
And
That's it, right?
Spotify?
between Spotify and Apple, I think we have 100 subscribers / followers.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So we
very
are
successful.
we are
Thank you,
doing
thank
what we
you.
gotta do. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you at season 2.
Bye.